It always comes to this. Hello there guys, back again to do another tattoo progress update. Where I last left off, I had obviously showed up these new tattoos as I had three sessions in a row in the last couple days. I think I did about 7 hours this week in total, 6-7 hours, somewhere in there. I had showed off prior to that my armpit that was nearly fully healed, the left one. And we did all kinds of new colors in there. I think we did jade green and earth green. And we did, what was it? Velvet red velvet. And the usual red that we've been using, nebula red. And obviously we used smoke and intense white. We tried up some different colors this week because the yellow green that we were going for with that deep green that he used didn't really pull through that much. It didn't really shine the way he wanted it to. We're going to be doing pretty well every color. We're talking about doing some blue and purple and stuff over the next little bit here, and we're expecting to have to experiment with that, especially when we get to the chest here pretty soon. Over the next few months, we're going to be rolling out all kinds of crazy colors, and we're going to have to beat it back and forth and see what works, see what balance of colors we need to achieve that. But it is definitely doable. This week we tried the same whites, obviously the same blacks, but we used, I think it was called Burberry red, and we used the velvet red and the nebula red again, but Rick tried two different inks for the green that we haven't used before. He used android green and mixing yellow to see if we could break up the black, and the results are quite a bit better this week. So this armpit has healed, I think, quite a bit better overall. The color's a lot more there. The white is better. He redid quite a bit of the black again, even though we were just in there a few weeks ago, which I had a little bit of an eye roll when he started out with the blacks, but we got to everything I wanted. So we may end up touching up the red in here too, just to make it a little more vibrant. But overall, I'm very happy with the red. I'm very happy with how this armpit came out. I think it's a little bit better than the other side. They're both pretty good, but I think that the first side, you can definitely see the learning that we've done side to side. But even then, even at a distance, you can see the color, you can see the white, you can see the black. You know, like those armpits are in there now. They're both 10 passes on my armpits overall. So I'm saying that's a world record. I don't think anyone else in the world's ever had as much work done in their armpits, and probably never will. I don't think that that's going to be duplicated or surpassed anytime soon. But this is now 4 days after the fact, and it's fully healed. My armpits are usually healed really quick. I was pretty well peeling in 2 days. People are gonna, oh, fully healed. You know what I mean? It's done peeling. Generally, this stuff doesn't change much. So this red here is a couple months now, and same as the white, hasn't changed much. Once you peel, it pretty well stays where it is. Sorry to break it to anyone out there that's overly skeptical about how this work ages. So far, it's not really changing much after the initial peel. You're kind of getting what you get at that point. Same thing with like these aren't going away. So get used to that. I'm gonna keep showing this stuff off as it heals, because the more I do, the more people come out of the woodworks about how it's not gonna work and this and that. And just get ready to be wrong if you're one of those people. That's all I have to say to that. Same thing, I had some people saying, oh, you're just never gonna lighten up. That's not how it works. It's like, no, it's lightening up. You can still see it, right? You can see it in contrast to this white more than anything, which only speaks power to the white, but like it's going away, and it's already to the point where with what we're planning on doing, the color on black, the amount of darker that it is right now doesn't matter. We can already go over that. We can do that Monday this week. We're not doing that Monday this week, but we could. It's already blending in well enough that we can cover it. So it's basically a matter of when now we do. And as far as when we do, when I think about it, I think we've only got between 5 and 10 sessions left before we're doing the chest. Because I think I'm going to need a touch up on each armpit. I think I'm going to need a little more color in each armpit. I think there's a spot or I think there's a session on each side of my body that needs white highlights, where we've already done the black background, the texture of the skin of the monster that we've done on the sides. I think that's 2 sessions. And then I think we've got 2 tentacles to bring back to life, and I think each of those are probably going to be a session. And then I think we're going to do some color in the eye. I've been talking about changing the color of the eye, and that's going to upset some people, but realistically the color in the eye needs to be brought up to par with what else is going on, and it needs to shake up. It hasn't been redone in a while. The eye again has had about 6 different looks over the years, and I think we're probably going to do a session on the teeth of the eye too. We're going to make the teeth different. I don't have a vision for that, but I think Rick does. So that's 6 or 7 sessions, and then we're going to do the white in the spider eyes again, not because it needs it, because it's the same as it was, right? You can see the white in the spider eyes hasn't aged really badly at all. It's been nearly a year, and it's almost the same as it was. But as we know from doing the rose and the moon, if you do second pass on the white, you will get more of a white balance. So the idea is we don't really need to do the black again in here, or the red again in here really, though I may do the red again. Doing the white again for that second time will increase the contrast between this Panthera black here and the white, and it'll just pop the spider eyes out more. So it will look like they're darker. That's the idea you're going for. I get so many people messaging me why their white on black doesn't stand out the way mine does, or all that crap. And it's like, you're not listening to the words I'm saying. Like when they're watching my videos and they're seeing this stuff and they're wondering why it's not, well, you need to pay attention to what I've been saying for months, potentially a year now, that this stuff works with contrast. It doesn't work on its own. You can't just draw a white line and expect it to be super clear. Not for long anyway. It may be day 1, but it's going to be gone soon. You have to do the layers. You have to do the dark darks and the white, and then you'll get something that holds up, right? This is a work of black and white. I kind of eye roll a little bit, and I know it's no one's fault, and I know I'm being a bit of an elitist snob here, but it's not that I'm being an elitist snob. It's just people don't have the right terminology for what the work over black is yet. People like to say white on black, like, oh, that's the new white on black piece. It's like, yeah, almost there's way more black in it than there is white, right? There's way more black in the mix of all of my work than there is white. And if it weren't for the black in the mix in this, like there's way more black in that. If it weren't for the black, the white wouldn't really show that well. It would be like if I just did the white of this without that black in there, like making it look brighter, this would not be a very distinct rose. It wouldn't be lasting very well. Same as the moon. The black around that moon is what's pushing it out. So like, it is about getting the contrast right. And doing white on stone isn't going to be enough. So, and I similarly think that with the color on black too, like you really need to get a whole bunch of stuff working together. Like you need a whole lot of different elements in there to get this to work. Like the white pops the red pops the white, and the black pops both, right? So you have to almost have, like you have to put in the time and really layer these things in. It took forever for us to get to these like the coloring in of the armpits. I'm sure I did so many sessions on these armpits that people were probably wondering if it was ever going to happen, if I was ever going to get the color and the white that I've been talking about, because it seemed like we were never going to get there, spinning our tires with doing the black, but it's like you need the black in there or else you can't really do much. Like you need the clarity. So that's the one reason why I don't know if this work will ever take off as a trend. I've had some people say, oh, you're starting trends, Remy. This is going to be the next thing. It's like, I don't know that it can be. And it's not that I'm feeling particularly proud or that I have some arrogance over, oh, I'm the only one with the dedication or anything like that. It's just like the amount of money, time, pain that goes into the multiple layers on layers on layers of getting this stuff to be striking and actually show up and be visible from any amount of distance is painstaking. And I don't think that it's going to be the viable choice for just anyone for all kinds of reasons. That being said, my journey here is never in showing how easy it is to do this or how feasible it is. It's only in explaining and showing to the world that you can, if you're patient and willing, that it is possible if you have the determination to do it. So anyway, I had mentioned this session was one of the grossest sessions I've had in a while on this armpit. Maybe that's why it's a little duller than this one, because this session was pretty easy in contrast. Neither session was particularly painful, but for whatever reason, this session on this armpit, I found myself way more sore afterwards, and I was healed about the same, like in about the same amount of time, but one side healed brighter than the other. Not that this is a particularly bad heal, because it's still there, but like this side is more clear. So I don't know if it was that Rick was in a different layer of skin or working harder or not working hard enough, or like there's all kinds of things that can change it. And in most ways, or most forms of tattooing, you're not going to notice the minor hiccups as much as you will in something like this, where you really can't afford any error at all. If it doesn't go in the skin perfect, you're really not going to have it. Where with a blank canvas, any mark you make is going to be clear. It's going to be there. If you put red under someone's skin when there's no ink already there, well, it's going to show through red. Now, if you put it in well, it's going to be darker or brighter red, but it's still going to be there. If you put red into a black arm and it's not in the right spot and it's not super in there, it's probably not going to show through. So you really need to make sure with this stuff that you're very aware of where you are in the skin and how hard you're working or how soft you're working or whatever. Like all those little things that could be forgivable in a normal situation aren't going to be in this situation. So I think that good days and bad days don't work for this. You have to have nothing but good days or you're pretty well shit out of luck. So I'm not saying it's the most technically complicated work possible, but I think if you don't have your saturation game like 100%, saturating color and white on black, it's going to be almost impossible. Anyway, I don't want to end this on too dour a note, because I mean to inspire people to try, but I do think that this is a very humbling pursuit, and it has been so for my tattoo artist, and he's been doing this for 20 years. You know, when he sees his stuff heal, one week it's better than another. It's a constant level up for him to figure out why and what he could do better next time. And it's been a lot of fun for both of us. So anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this one, I'll talk to you guys again soon, and have a great day.